functions. We will learn in this tutorial about basic functions like sum, average, count, max, min, large and small. At the same time, we will learn about if, SumIf and CountIf function. It is very important to understand how to use these functions and when to use these functions. So, the example that we are going to use in this tutorial is of a modern college, and Mrs. Saxena is a teacher in modern college. She wants to understand mark sheet of 10 selected students, and she wants to select one of them for skill development program. Now the mark sheet looks like this. So there are 10 students. Their marks are available in physics, chemistry and biology, and there are some constraints. Let's have a look at how to use these different functions to analyze different information, and let's help Mrs. Saxena to take a right decision. So if we look at this example, okay, so one of the important aspect is total mark and then average of each student. Let's use the first function we will use here is sum. The shortcut fee for the sum is alt equal to, let's use it. So press alt and press equal to, so sum of three numbers available here and press enter, and the sum is available. Okay, now it is very simple, just drag it down, and now Mrs. Saxena knows the total marks of each student. She would like to understand what is the average of each student for three subjects: physics, chemistry and biology. Here we will use function average. Now if you are not aware about shortcut of average, there is always one thing you remember in Excel, the alt function. The moment you press alt in Excel, you will find that in Excel itself, this lot of shortcut alphabets will open. Now we are interested in formula. Okay, so press M. The moment you press M, we are interested in AutoSum. Press U, and you will find different functions available. We are interested in average, so press A. You need not to remember this formula, okay, but you can use this formula. Otherwise, second formula is equal to average. Okay, so select average. Now you have to select numbers. To select this three numbers, complete the bracket, press enter. So the average of these three numbers is 67. Same, drag it down, and we have completed the average. So now Mrs. Saxena is aware about total marks of the students, average of each student. Okay. Now next is find out grand total. Okay. We know the shortcut for sum is alt equal to. So press alt and equal to. So the selected numbers are this. Press enter. So this is total available 579 for subject physics. Drag it and you will get average for each corner. So total marks, average and grand total is available. Now in this example, we know that the total number of students are small, but if we take the example in real life, the number of students in school and colleges are like in hundreds and in thousands. Okay, so that time this function will make a lot of sense. So let's find out, let's help Mrs. Saxena to find out the number of students. Okay, the function that we are going to use here is count. So use function count, open the bracket. Now values that we want is, let's say, number of students. So I'm selecting this, okay, and completing the bracket. Okay, it has given me answer 0. Okay, surprisingly, why the answer is 0 I will show you in some time. So let me say is equal to, again, count, and let me select this. Okay, and yeah, the result is 10. The number of students are 10. But when I selected name of students, it gave me answer 0. Reason being, I will show you here. Number of subjects, okay? When I select count as a function, it selects the range that contains number. So count function counts the number of cells in a range that contain only numbers. So whenever there are numbers, you can use count function. But for all non-numeric data points, you cannot use count function. Okay. So there is another function available, that is count A. So moment I say count A, it counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So it counts any data point. Okay. Numeric, non-numeric, both, and hence the answer given was 0 here. Okay. So now let me select subjects, and so the answer is 3. Okay. Let's say by mistake, if you are not aware about count A function and if you use only count, let's see the result. Yeah, it's 0. Okay. So always remember, use count A function and for non-numeric data, and you will get the result. So number of subjects 3, number of students 10. Very good. Now we will use next function in Excel to find out maximum marks in physics. Okay. So use function max. It calculates select number, and so let me select all numbers here. Complete the bracket. So 98 is the maximum score in the physics. Very interesting. Drag it to the right, and 100 is the maximum score in chemistry, and 91 is the maximum score in biology. Very good. Let help Mrs. Saxena to find out what is the minimum score in this subject. So let me use mean function into bracket. Select all the numbers, complete the bracket. Yeah. So minimum is 20. Drag it to the right. So we will get minimum in all three subjects. So if you look at minimum numbers, they are in the range of 20, 27, and 26. So less than 35 is generally considered as a failed candidate. And Mrs. Saxena is also interested to find out the number of students failed and number of students who have scored more than 70. Now here we will use if function. The if function is very helpful to find out some conditions. So whenever there are conditions, we have to use if function. Okay. Now it is asking for number of students. It is asking for count. So let's use count if function. Okay. There is count if function, and there is count if s function also. Okay. Uh, Count if function is used when there is only one condition. If there are multiple conditions, we can go for count if s function. Okay, and I will show you how to use count if s. So count if condition. What is now? It is asking to select a range and criteria. Okay, if you are confused here, then there is a another interesting way to use this function. Go here, click on fx. The moment you click on fx, you will the function argument box will open. Okay. Now this is good, self-explanatory, and very interesting. Range. It is asking to select the range. So in physics, my range is this. Very good. So selected range is FC5 to C14. You can also see here the numbers are appeared here. Now what is the criteria? Criteria is greater than 70. Okay. So done with the criteria, say okay. It has given answer 4. Fantastic. Okay. Just drag it to the right, and you will find in physics there are 4 students scored more than 70. In chemistry, there are 3 students. In biology, there are 5 students. Now, there are some students who have scored less than 35 and they are failed. So, let's find out those numbers. Now, you know the function. Function is count if, open the bracket. I can always go to this. Now the range is this, and criteria is less than 35. I will say, okay. And yeah, number of students, there are two students, let's say, in chemistry and biology. Yes, now Mrs. Saxena knows that there are some students who have scored more than 70. There are two students in physics, two in chemistry, and one in biology. They have scored less than 35. Now Mrs. Saxena is interested to find out the second maximum value in each subject. So I'm not only interested in maximum value, I'm interested in second maximum value. Okay. Now there is interesting formula available in Excel. That formula is large. Always remember, formula is large. So when I select large, it asks for array and the position that we are looking for. Okay. So my array is this. Okay. What are we looking at? Second highest. Okay, second maximum. So second maximum in physics is 95. Let's see in other subjects. In chemistry it is 92, and in biology it is 80. Okay. uh, yeah, she is also interested in third minimum number. Okay, so yeah, let's look at third minimum. Now the formula that we will use here is small, because we are looking at minimum number. So small array and the position. Let's select array, and the position is third smallest number, and 38 is the third small. So 20 is the minimum number, but the third smallest number is 38. And let me select. So 42 is the third smallest, 38 is the third smallest. Let's move to the next criteria now. Now, interesting is she is also interested to find out total marks of students having more than 60 marks in all subjects. Okay, so here interest is more than 60 marks in all subjects. What is the total of their marks? So total of their marks we will get from this number, but criteria is all three subjects should have more than 60 marks. Okay, and let's see. So now the function that we would like to use here is now sum, because we are looking at total marks. Okay, so I'm using sum. Now there are two functions, SumIf and SumIfs. Now the interesting part is there are multiple conditions. Okay, because we need 60%, more than 60 marks in all three subjects. So there are three criteria now. So let me select SumIfs function. The moment I have selected it, it is asking me for some range, criteria range 1, range 2, range 3. I will always prefer to beginners to use here. Okay, open the dialog box, use insert function and make the formula. If you are comfortable making formula here, you can go here. But to begin with, let me select this. So it has opened a dialog box. Okay, it is asking me for some range and criteria 1. Okay, what is the sum range? Okay, so sum range is here. So let's select first of all this. So we have selected criteria. Now what is criteria range 1? So criteria range 1 is this. Range 1, what is the criteria? More than 60. Correct. Now criteria range 2 is chemistry. What is the criteria? Again, more than 60. Okay. Yeah. So criteria 1 is done. Criteria 2 is, third criteria is biology. Okay, and what is the condition? Again, greater than 60. So there are three criteria. Each subject should have more than 60 marks, and I want total of those. Let's see how the function works. So the answer is 269. Okay, is it true? Okay, so more than 60 marks in all subjects. If now you have to do this manually, you can see there is only one student. He has scored more than 60 marks in each subject, and hence 269. Let's find out how many students are there. Manually you can do that, but let Excel do the job. So Mrs. Saxena is also interested to find out a student who has scored more than 60 marks in all subjects. So now what? Again, now I'm going to use CountIf function. Okay, let me go to insert function here and let me select criteria range. So my first criteria is this. What is the criteria? Criteria is greater than 60. Range 2 for the criteria is subject chemistry. Okay, yeah. And what is the criteria? Again, greater than 60. Range for criteria 3 is biology, and again criteria is greater than 60. So yeah, there is only one student with more than 60 marks in all subjects, and the score is 269. We know that the student name is Virat. Okay, so with the help of different functions like sum, average, count if, SumIf, different functions, the Mrs. Saxena has analyzed clearly the mark sheet of different students, and she will select now one of the students for a skill development program. So Saxena is very happy with the dashboard, and dashboard is ready for her analysis. After this dashboard, she understands that there is one error in Rahul chemistry marks. The actual value is 68 and not 28 value. This is because of a typing error. So she decides to change this value from 28 and to 68. Let's see the changes in this entire dashboard. So moment she enters 68 here, yeah. So there is change in grand total. There is change in number of students failed. Earlier it was 2. Let's see. However, there is a change in total number of marks and the total number of students. Now there are two students. They score more than 60 in all subjects. The total is now 494. So Rahul now enters into a category of more than 60 marks in all subjects, and there is Virat, another student in this category. So now Mrs. Saxena can play with this dashboard. She can enter data of other students. She can change marks. However, all the formulas will remain there for her analysis. Let's create such wonderful dashboards in Excel with the help of various shortcut keys and learn from all my tutorials. Hope you learn about all these functions in a detail. Use these functions in practical life in your office. Be smart by using shortcut keys, and always remember, practice the Excel, and I will come up with lot of such examples and tutorials. Subscribe to this channel and learn Excel in an effective way.